get situated here. YouTube. I'm doing a video today. I said that I was going to do a video on each of my 3 pickups from the December 14th Hamburg Reptile show. I have yet to do any of those videos, anything more than moving into pretty setups. So I'm about to do that on my one. The one that was like my most anticipated animal and the one I'm honestly most excited that I got. But this is the little cage, little tub. You've seen it in the like unveiling video after I got back from the show. So if you want to see more of that, just check it out later. He's actually in his little humid hide here, which probably needs sprayed down. Hopefully you can get it good. You can see he's not at all. I took it off. He's a little wary of what's going on. Kind of like, okay, what's going on? A little nervous. You can see he's breathing heavy. He's a little nervous, but he's not like freaking out. Oh yeah, because I want to do this video, you're gonna freak out. Yeah. I see you doing that. I see you doing that, you cool. You're not shedding or anything, you're fine. So I'm just gonna give him a moment to kind of realize what's going on and wake up and everything. You can see he's sticking his little head out. He's a little curious what's going on with the camera. And he's trying to come towards the camera. He's like, I'm gonna go check that out. He's very curious. He's actually really tame, which is really good. He's only nipped at me once, and that's because that was totally my fault. I was being an idiot. I smelled like food, and I was trying to pick up his food away from him and put it back, change the orientation of it so that he could get a hold of it again better. And because I smelled like food and was trying to take food away from him, I got nipped at. But again, that's my own stupidity. He's really not nippy. He's really calm. And this species on YouTube has actually gained quite a reputation for being nippy little buggers. So, so you can see he's not. You're probably going, okay, what is he? What is he? He is a Rhino rat snake. And like I said, there's so many videos on YouTube of these guys just biting at the camera and biting through the glass and, you know, nipping at their owners, trying to go in out of their cage. And he's really not nippy at all. He can be a little nervous sometimes, but he's not really nippy. He's a little quick, and he can be a little bit nervous, but he's just got a lot of baby energy. He's got a lot of baby energy. He wants to get in everything. He wants to check everything out. He wants to be everywhere. He wants to get into everything like a toddler. He's about 6 months old now, and he was bred by South Hills Exotics, and every single baby he had there was actually pretty calm. You know, wanted to be everywhere and whatnot, but not really nippy. I had one of the females, one of his sisters, was really nervous and did take a nip at me, but none of the others did. It just kind of sat there, was a little nervous, and then phew, out of the container, you know, and tried to go like up into my hair. But he was actually one of the calmest. You know, one of his brothers that I held was just squirming all over the place, really trying to get away from me. And you can see he's a little quick and all because he's got baby energy and he's very streamlined for them to move fast. But he's not moving fast out of fear of trying to get away from me. He's moving, you know, he's moving at an even, explorative, excited pace, but not at a scared, I want to get away from you, oh dear God. As you can see, he's really friendly. I only handle him about once a week. He's actually still in a very simple setup. And that's because he's still eating live. He only wants to eat live. I actually got him to eat his first unscented live mouse this week. So we are making quite a big improvement from wanting nothing but guppies. So we're getting there slowly but surely. So hopefully in a few more months he'll be taking frozen thawed unscented mice for me. But at least it looks like we've got him on unscented live pinkies for now. So, I mean, I'll take it. That's a really good start. And I spent about as much on a single live pinky a week as I would to have enough live guppies to last me a week, considering that, you know, about half of them die because they're sickly feeder fish. Half of them die before he ever gets to eat them. And, you know, guppies are tiny, so it takes like 5 of them, 3 times a week to feed this guy, but a single pinky is a really plump meal for him. And he'll like veg out in this humid hide for days after I feed him. He actually just pooped yesterday from it, so he's probably gonna another poop yet, and then he'll be ready for another one. He'll get another one on Monday. Today's Saturday, so 3 more days he'll get his next one. He eats like a champ. He is a little bit of a shy feeder, though. I have to leave the room. I have to leave the room for him to eat. He does not like to be watched. He does not like to eat in a feeder bin or anything like that, so he gets fed in the cage. He's the only snake that I feed in cage, just because I believe in cage feeding can cause them to be a little bit more on the nippy side. So, but he's not at all. He's really good. He understands me reaching into the cage doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna get food. I just have to give him a few seconds to get acclimated to the fact that I'm waking him up and that, you know, it's a human in the cage, not a predator. So, but you can see he's really calm. He's not trying to squirm out of my hand. You know, he's just moving at a nice, even rat snake pace, wanting to check out everything, and his tongue's really going, and of course he wants to go up my arm where you can't see him really well, but he doesn't always grip to me the greatest. He's still learning to be a tree snake. But, so that's info about him. He is a male. I got a really good deal on you. He is. You're so cute, so cute. You can see he's a little nervous sometimes, but he's really not that bad. But now info about this species. Like I said, he is a rhino rat snake, and he's about 6 months old. That's just kind of an estimation. The breeder couldn't remember. He remembered what month they were born around, what month they were born in, but not what day. So that's an estimation. Hey, come back. I know you want to check out everything. Yes. But yeah, rhino rat snakes. They are native to Vietnam and China. They live in the tropical forests of Vietnam and China. They are a semi-arboreal snake. They are not fully terrestrial, but they're also not fully arboreal. So he's got some stuff to climb on, and usually during early morning, early evening, he'll be out just kind of cruising around the cage all over the place. But he spends most of his time actually curled up in this humid hide or in his water dish. So he's actually, you know, if you set things up right, this snake makes a very, very good display species because, you know, they're more active than a lot of your snakes, and they're more inclined to laying out in the open as long as you give them like overlapping like plants and stuff to hide on. You can see he really is interested in what the camera is over there. Where you going? However, this species is not for a beginner. I do not recommend it for a beginner. I found him fairly straightforward and fairly easy to keep. And some people, one breeder said, you know, they're actually very durable. Like most rat snakes, they are very durable. However, they do need more humidity than your standard rat snake that people are most familiar with. Because I have an actual pretty high ambient humidity already in my house. I don't actually provide any additional humidity. I just keep a humid hide and a water dish that's plenty big for him to submerge himself in for his humidity. And that, combined with the fact that I don't have a screen, actually very little ventilation, actually keeps the humidity pretty decent in his cage and still gives him the option of a quote-unquote dry spot in the cage so that he can regulate, because they are touchy about having too much humidity. Too much humidity, if you're doing your entire cage and doing the mistings and stuff, can cause respiratory infections, bacterial skin problems. You can get like water blisters and that you can see in ball pythons, like you would see maybe in a ball python that spends too much time in its water bowl. So they can develop that. He actually had a blister right about here on either side when I bought him. So since they were able to confirm with popping, look that up, that he was a male, I actually got $100 knocked off the price because at the time the breeder and I thought it was a spinal, a kink in the ribs that meant that he would have to be kept as a pet only and probably should not be bred out. But that's gone away, and the vet said he believes it was just like a water blister or something like that, and as long as he remains active and stays eating and he doesn't get any more of them, I shouldn't worry about it. And like I said, he eats like a champ. He sheds like once a month, which is really good. I'm hoping now that I just got him on to mice rather than fish, his growth rate will actually increase to 2 sheds a month. Now that he is eating something a lot better. So, but yeah, you can see he's really nice. Trying to think if there's anything else I can say. I mean, it's a rat snake, it's a rat snake. I absolutely love them. Being a colubrid fan, especially of the rat snakes, this was a species I had to have. Like I said, they're semi-arboreal. This is my only semi-arboreal snake, and I do love, you know, your tree snakes and stuff. They make very good display animals. I wanted a nice display animal. At the same time, I mean, these guys get anywhere from 4 to 6 feet. There's been cases of males staying as small as 3, though it's rare. So I did need something that wasn't going to get as big as a green tree python based on the cage that I already had. So I chose these. And I love this little horn. Look at that face. The little horn on the tip of their nose and that stripe. And they got an orange eye, which probably isn't going to come out on the camera. They have an orange eyeball. And I think that is just really, really awesome. I think it's just great. And they're so cool. Scientists actually have no idea why this species has a horn on their nose. They haven't found any kind of biological significant importance of it. My personal belief, being a science major myself and having my 4-year bachelor's degree, is that in the wild, when they're crawling through the leaves, that horn, when they're sticking their head out of the leaves, just is to kind of help break up the shape of their head and their face, along with that stripe, the white chin there, compared with the darker top, would also kind of break up their image. You know, if a predator's looking up and you have the sun coming through the trees, that white is going to help blind out the shape to a predator, whereas the darker would help blend in more with the shadows of the leaves as a predator's looking down on them. So my belief is just that it's to kind of break up their shape when they're just sticking their heads out of leaves or something in the wild. You can see he is like a gray color right now. Like I said, he's only 6 months old. He's actually gonna, come here buddy. He's actually, the adults of this species are actually bright green. And then their tummy can be anywhere from this like gray color. They can stay gray, it could be white. Some adults even have a sky blue belly. Some adults get a nice teal, like a teal, more of a teal green color. And then some adults also are the emerald, the nice bright emerald green, but with blue, like a bright blue in between the scales. So I'm kind of hoping he goes that route, but we're not going to know until he's bigger. His mom was teal and his dad was like bright green tree python emerald green. So he's just wonderful though. He's a wonderful animal. I'm so glad to have him. He's got a great personality. You can see he's very active and explorative. He's not at all prone to nipping or biting at me. He's, you know, he can be a little nervous to sudden movements and stuff, but he's not, biting is in no way, shape, or form his immediate response. He just wants to crawl and check out everything in a nice, typical rat snake pace. So, you gotta hold on to him, even though they're semi-arboreal. You gotta kind of hold on to them like a corn snake because he's got the habit of not, sometimes he'll grip right to me, and then other times he won't grip right to me, and he'll just kind of like fall into his cage. Like, this is totally where I meant to be. And when he falls, he'll grip onto the edge on his way down, and it's kind of amusing. See, there he's gripping right. But he doesn't always do it. And I've noticed my corn snake, I got him when he was about a year old, and he's about a year and a half old now. And from the time I got him to now, he's definitely learned a lot better to be able to grip onto my arm or my hand and support his weight and hold on to me better. So I think being able to learn to hold on better to what he's on he's going to get better at it as he grows, because I've definitely seen my corn snake get better at that during the time I've had him as he's grown up. It's just something he's like learned to do better. And I'm hoping this guy will too, because he's going to have a vine in his cage and a nice big branch. He's going to have a fully custom cage, fully custom Exoterra when he's an adult. So, but he's definitely put on some nice muscle tone even just since I've got him. He's definitely put on a little bit of length, not a lot. He's still tiny, but he's put on some length. Definitely, he's definitely put on an inch or two since I got him, and definitely got some nicer muscle tone as he's been growing. So, and his name is Yakul, Yakul, and that name comes from the animated film Princess Mononoke. It is the name of the red elk ridden by the main character. So I was like, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds pretty cool for a rhino rat snake. And I had the name picked out before I even bought him, so I was kind of glad that my favorite pick of the bunch was not only a male, but I also managed to get a discount on him. So I'll try and do more videos with him in the future, especially as he gets older and he starts going through his color change. I'm going to start, I'm going to try and show some of that. I'm going to wait till he gets a little bit bigger to do a little bit more with him, because he is a little bit more, does have a little bit more of that toddler energy yet, and he does have a tendency sometimes just to let himself fall for some stupid reason, and he loves trying to go on the floor. And once he's on the floor, he kind of takes off like a sidewinder, like with the speed of like a sidewinder. So, plus, he's so small. You got to be very cautious with handling. Got to be very careful with that spine and dropping him. And this species overall, that horn can be kind of weak. It is flexible. It is soft. But if it is pinched, either like in your fingers or in a button on your clothing, or even with decor, you got to be careful with their decor that they can't get their tip of their horn, their tip of their nose up in between decor or up in between your fingers and then get it stuck and pinched, because it will break off. So they do take a little bit more care and careful in handling this species. And of course you got to take some extra care and be extra gentle when they're this small yet. So, so I'll do a little bit more with him once he gets a little bit bigger and he starts going through that change. He'll be much more durable when he's a year old. So, but look at that face. I can't get enough of that horn and that stripe and that cute little pink tongue. Oh, I don't know if you can see how adorable that tiny little pink tongue is. Oh, the bright pink tongue is so adorable, and it's so tiny. It's so tiny yet at this age. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but I think it's adorable. Yeah. It's like, what is that? What is that? What is it? Yeah, cool? Yeah, let's not climb on the camera. Can we not do that? He's thinking about it. He's totally thinking about it, folks. He totally wants to climb on top of the camera. Oops. Alright, well, I guess that's it. I'm going to give him a good look over. Like I said, he just shed, and I didn't do anything more than a really quick look of the skin and a really quick look at him. So I just want to make sure there's no tiny little pieces stuck. See you next.